Hello guys, remember me? I'm Orbiter, your Welsh engineer, and welcome to Kerbal Quest Part 19, Saving Private Aiquen Kerman, which is currently on Duna, which he is currently on Duna. It's what I'm to say. Anyway guys, welcome back, and first off we're going to launch this mission, which is to go and save Aiquen. And, well, I'll leave the details in the mission. We'll find out as we go along. Anyway, who have we got on this mission? Which is Tam. He's the one who wanted to go on the mission. I think he wanted to go on a space plane. We've also got Nostostiar, we got Orbiter 2, and some other guy, which... Parker, I think it was, that also asked to go to Duna. He didn't say particularly what to do, so he's going to go on his rescue mission. I'm on there just for moral support. Parker is on the mission for other type of support, I have no idea. Nostostias is on there to help Tam fly the damn ship. Anyway, let's see if these separations work correctly. Yes, because for some reason, I'm not sure what it was, transferring saves of saves or something over caused them to hit the main rocket. Anyway, let's get ourselves on the way to Duna and we can read out the first comment on the video, which is from Ethan Gotche. First comment, I've heard about multiplayer in KSP. What do you think about that? Well, actually, I think multiplayer in KSP is what is really missing from the game. And I know you can get the mod, Dark Multiplayer. And for what it does it well. And how it gets around the time warp system, where you have to click on a button to sync to time if someone's in the future and you're not. Oh, let's have a look at Aiquen. He's all alone on Duna, which is a shame because he's been on this planet for quite a while. I'm not sure if he'll bring up on HUD. 31 years he's been all alone on here. That's because of all the time warp of trying to get the ships over towards Jewel. It takes so long. But back to the multiplayer comment. What I think about it. I want Squad to bring out their own multiplayer. Because I think they can do something a bit better than what we've got. At the moment, it's using the text type of document which tells the game where's what, and then it's syncing to the server and then has to sync to your game, and errors can be made because your game has to track a vehicle which is flying right next to you. So you've got two jets in the atmosphere. It has to calculate, how much air resistance and whatnot on all individual parts. This is more than what any other game does calculate for, any type of craft, which is odd. No, it is not odd. This is what makes the game KSP much better than most games, because the Newtonian physics is awesome. Not mentioning some NMS type game at the moment, which promise some sort of similar physics. But I have to say, Kerbal Space Program is limited by what else it can achieve, how much stuff you can have it. Frame rates are really low, even for a high-end machine like mine. And I've got a 980 Ti. So I can't wait to see what Squad do for their multiplayer. Anyway, we've got other Kerbals to worry about. These Kerbals are also stuck on Duna, and I made it a mission, a long-term mission, like the Martian game. They have to get back, they have to get fueling, they have to find a rocket to fuel up and launch off. So first off, we got this miner, which we found the craft which is going to launch them off. I basically hyper-edited a spacecraft there, which would get them home eventually, if it works properly. I have not tested it. That's one thing I've decided to start doing with this game, because to save time, I'm going to create craft and not test them, which you'll find out soon enough in this video. And I'm not sure about this return vehicle, but we'll find out. Like this thing, I never fully tested this out. I just built it, gave it all the parts it needs, and as we go up this hill, we'll find out that it starts running out of charge. See, it's coming backwards, what the hell? Yes, I didn't think about it. So what I've decided to do is go around the flatter, because this is a canyon, there's going to be a flatter area we can go to, isn't there? Anyway, let's read off another comment. But honestly, about the multiplayer, I think if Squad do something better that syncs it all properly, so you're not constantly wondering, the game's not constantly wondering where your craft is, and you're not jumping all around if you have someone close to someone else. Anyway, from Zombies Slay. I honestly love your channel and this series. Keep it up. Smiley face. Yes, thank you very much. That's awesome comment. I love comments like that, even though they're short, to the point, and positive. Anyway, from Tam5005, last comment, definitely not. Dot. Yes, I think what it was, yeah, I said last comment, reading out the last comment, and yeah, you're not the last comment this time. In fact, you're the third one in. And yes, what we're doing in the video, I'm trying to swap between two monitors and record this at the same time. Okay, so here we are. This is the launch rocket. This is going to get all the Kerbals home. It's got enough space in the top command pod. We'll have a quick look at it before we start filling it up. The only thing is, yes, it needs fuel. Okay, so we've got Andrew. No, he hasn't got the stuff. Okay, so it's KerbalIO. Oh, low? IO? Is it low or IO? I don't remember. I think it's IO. Anyway, he's the one who has to go and start fueling. First off, we need to put a fuel duct type connector on here. In fact, this fuel duct connector, it's sort of a multi thing. You can transfer anything across between two ships. And once you connect it up to another ship, it awesomely acts like as if it's, the two ships are one, which is cool, except sometimes it renames both your ships. Anyway, first off, looks like we're going to have to fly him up there. Okay, go on. We've got no lift. Oh, he's been at the snacks again. KerbalIO, you're an engineer. That's probably our fault. We haven't given him enough things to do. He's been here for years as well. Ignore the time on the top left. I think he's been here a lot longer than Aiquen. So he's 50 years probably. Anyway, he's dropped all his guts and now he's going to connect it up after he works out his jetpack properly. Anyway, let's get to another comment from Retrieval. Your asteroid capture and asteroid base series is really helpful, but when I try to capture a Class A asteroid type asteroid, my delta V decreases from 5,000 to a very low around 10 to 15 meters per second. That's the delta V is on about. Whenever I dock on the asteroid surface, or whenever, let's continue with the sentence. Could you let me know where I'm going wrong? What I did? Well, I replied to him as I just looked in the interior of this rocket. I think you guess how it's going to work. Anyway, I think what the problems he had is that either a bug in the game, it says with Class A, he's probably actually docked to a Class D, but also if you're going to catch a asteroid, not a rocket, you have to make sure you got enough delta V on there. And by the way, I hyper-edited these guys in because I wasn't going to get them over there. I nicked the mech mechanism from this rover and put it on the other rover, so it wasn't that I could put it to rove automatically and then come back to it. Anyway, this guy probably caught a larger asteroid, but also, if you're using a small rocket, you can have a small rocket, and, whoa, watch out, Kepler! No, we almost killed him there. And who's that in the car? Other than Scott Manley driving the rover. I think he realised what he did there, and, yeah, he's usually good at flying safe, but not driving safe, I suppose. But also, I was saying the asteroid, I think what the problem is, he could have had a small rocket. If you've got a small rocket, you can have a little high enough delta V, but when you attach to something with a lot more mass, your delta V is going to drop really low. The only way around that is to build a huge ass rocket. If you say it's a huge rocket with the same delta V as a small rocket, but when you attach to that asteroid, you have more delta V because you got more fuel, more mass of that rocket compared to the mass that of the smaller rocket, that the delta V will have increased. And also from Luna Coop. Awesome how you pronounce my name. Luna Coop. Rest in pieces, Orbiter. Yeah, I died in the last episode. Let's hope we don't do it this time. Anyway, let's get this down for landing. What I've decided to do is what we're going to do is try to land just after targeting where Aiquen has situated himself, and hopefully we can use the rocket burn and the parachutes will slow us down enough to land where he is. Not to say that we'll probably come into some problems. Anyway, I'm hoping that my engineering of this rocket will work perfectly. And by the way, I'm just using this landing guidance to show the predictions, the distance. You can see the target difference, 3 kilometers. That hopefully will give us enough to land there. Okay, so let's get this on the road. Or should I say, on Duna. By the way, as a side note, I plan to stream on Saturday. Oh, wait a minute, this is going to go out Sunday, so damn it. Yes, I was planning on streaming on Saturday, hopefully. If not, it'll be Sunday for an hour again. Time's limited, and when I can do the streams is limited as well, so yeah. We'll find out when the best times I can stream on the times that I can. So, yeah, that'll be a future thing anyway. But first off, let's land this. Decouple that as we got a landing spot ready. Inflate the heat shield, because we want to survive this. And I've got some separation. What I found out with these heat shields, these inflatable heat shields, that they don't just detach, they float close, they hit your rocket if you're heading in the same direction. You either have to flip around, detach the heat shield, or, as I've done with this one, put some Septrons on it. Hopefully this will work out. You can see we're on course. There's the debris from the last lander, and the target, which is Aiquen. Okay, we seem to be having turbulence here. The rocket is trying to keep itself straight. Let's hope we can survive this, because I'm on this mission as well. My clone is anyway. He's not as good as me, but yeah, he'll do. He's there for support. Okay, let's detach this thing. No. Okay, it's not enough thrust on that. No. Parachutes. Whoa, we're too late. No. Oh man. No, that did not work well. I think my staging was off. Anyway, let's reload that, because that was just a simulation, wasn't it? And try it again. Okay, we're gonna try this again, but this time I'm going to try and stage this differently. What I want to do is, again, we'll use the heat shield to get down through the thickest part of the atmosphere. That helps slow us down a lot, because we can't use the parachute. And then we'll engage the rocket, detach the heat shield, to slow us down enough to engage the parachutes. And we'll engage the rocket at the same time as we release that. And engage the rocket straight away, as you can see with the thrusters. And okay, another simulation failed. Come on guys, let's try this again. Oh man. No, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do here. I was trying to guess. I knew I could do it another way, which is going to be the last resort we're going to try for this. Anyway, as the game reloads, let's try this. This time we detach the heat shield and we use the rocket to try to slow ourselves down. No, I don't think this is going to work, do you? Balls. Sorry, Tam. I think you died again. Several times, in fact. Those cloning factories must be in overdrive. Okay, this time I've decided we're going to do this properly. This is going to be the last one. I decided, you know, there's only one way we can do this. We'll use the main rocket to get down. Anyway, as we angle everything up and get ourselves on the trajectory, make sure everything is staged correctly. The problem with engineering something like this, especially, just say you test this on Kerbal, it's not going to work properly because the atmosphere on Duna is really low, and that is what's the main problem with this. You know, it's not the thrust-to-weight ratio. The thrust-to-weight ratio is good on the other engine. It's enough to get us into orbit. I thought there would be enough on that to get us down, but obviously Duna has a thinner atmosphere, which means that we've got less distance to fall with it and less time to deploy those parachutes. That's why I'm using larger engines to slow us down. As you can see, the parachutes are no longer in red, but when I engage them, they have not deployed. That's because the atmosphere is not thick enough for us to deploy them. What I could have done was attach some drogue chutes that would slow us down in the thinner atmosphere, and perhaps attach, but then we probably would have needed a larger rocket or something else anyway. But as you can see, this type of method, because we're not getting enough heating, that heat shield in fact was useless. This rocket now can get us down properly, and the parachutes provide enough slowing, stopping power so that we're not careering to the ground. And a tip when you come into land by here, slow to almost a dead stop, about not complete stop. Sometimes the parachutes disappear when you come to complete stop high up, but we've landed anyway. So let's get Aiquen over to the ship. I targeted something, and yes, Aiquen, that's not your rocket. In fact, I think that's on its way to its rocket. It's tricked you! It's tricked you! Get away quickly! It's alive. It's on its own mission. Anyway, after trying to run over there, I realised we've got a jetpack. Decided we'll use it as much as we can. We have to save a little bit to get into the rocket. So, yeah, let's get into a comment as we're doing that from Shane Baldwin. I saw there was a Shane on board that lathe mission. I'm assuming it was me, as I had asked earlier in the series to be one of the original pioneers of lathe. Thank you, Orbiter. Your videos are amazing, and I love how you make your viewers fans part of the experience. Actually found myself excited to see my name among the crew of that vessel. Yes, don't worry, I haven't stopped doing the lathe mission yet. In fact, I've got to build that base up. In fact, why not you guys tell me what I could do, what I could add? Obviously, normally we have a mining situation, but we have an ocean on lathe, and it is a huge ocean. We could build an underwater base, or a submarine, anyway. Anyway, here we are. Aiquen is within the rocket. Let's launch him up. We don't have enough Delta V to get him back home to Kerbal, but we do have enough to get him to the space station that's in orbit around Duna. And we got Tam, Nashtoshtiar, Orbiter 2, Parker, and Aiquen on this mission. Aiquen being saved of that. But yeah, don't worry, Shane, we've got a lot to do. Advice or what else we could do, even if it's nothing to do with the game, you know, just think stupid perhaps. And by the way, I'm using the planner by here to get in a circular orbit because I couldn't attach a maneuver node, and I didn't want to quick load and quick save the game because sometimes they're going to mess up, especially when you haven't got much time in your suborbital. Ooh, things used to go wrong in the old games. Anyway, from Gachi Plays, I forgot you. Who are you? Who am I? Who is anyone? No! I've forgotten. Anyway, no problem. I do that all the time, actually. I've subscribed to a load of people. I watch their videos for a while. Perhaps it's just one series I've subscribed to it. I don't see another one of the series. I forget about them until I until I put something new up or something that catches my eye and I think, oh, I'd like to watch that again. Yeah, it happens to me a lot. Like, that walking thing in Minecraft. What do you call it? That is Farlands are best. Sometimes I stop watching it. Sometimes he stops. But yeah, you get my meaning. Sometimes you stop. But let's get into these last comments from Viper2C. Cool, I'm going to be a watcher. It's too bad about yourself near the end. Yes, I died. But I'm back. I'm sure you have some clothes engineered. Yes, we do. Still wrestling with it. Should I buy No Man's Sky yet? Or wait for the price drop? I'll wait for a price drop or wait for a patch update after the patches. See if they add something awesome to the game. You know, like perhaps missions you can go on with the alien races. It's going to be a bit hard because it's all procedurally generated, even the space stations and factions. So that's where the problems lies, and that's, I think, is why there's lack of content, is because that is so hard to do. Anyway, he goes on, keep the Kerbal Avengers going, and I'll be watching. Yes, this is the Duna episode, where we're saving Private Aiquen. And from Azonix, the mix of scatter and SVE are awesome. My only beef is re-entry, and the way the effects refuse to render over the craft. Scatterer issue. The fix in Scatter UI main menu, you'll notice near the plane clip, value is default to 1. Reduce that to something closer to 0.5 and your re-entry scenes will be so much more eye-appealing candy for the eye. Keep up the great work and game on. Yes, thank you very much. Actually, I haven't done that yet, but I have to get onto that and apply that, especially when going to re-entry on larger atmosphere planets. Anyway, from Francie Freak 4304, hey Orbiter, I'm looking a little pale. Would I be able to go to the solar space station sometime? Yes, no problem. I've added your Kerbal to the game already, so you'll be on your way. I have to get Dr. Bones to Eve as well, so there'll be spots free on the Sun space station. From No One Here, this is my favourite place. Hey Orbiter, did you watch the Olympics? And if you did, what was your favourite sport? The cycling, actually. That was my favourite. Women's volleyball. Last comment is Tam 5005. Last? Question mark. Yes, you are again. Cheeky bugger. Anyway, I'm going to try and mine more ore. It looks like we have to get some solar panel. No, some radiators to this to do the mining. Anyway, I'm Orbiter. Trust me, I'm an engineer. That's already gone, and here's the end of the video.